Crooked Fanny playing dirty tricks in the courtroom. She always picks, and in the rules she'd know win, but I won't let her get under my skin. Down in Georgia, where the blues run deep, crooked justice, a secret they keep. But I see through her lies, I see the truth. Gonna make her pay for what she do. Fanny's got a reputation to uphold, but her tactics are shady. Story untold, she thinks she's clever, but I'm on to her game. I'll expose her ways and put her to shame.
Hey folks, what a day, what a day. I watched Woody watch Woody on video today. Oh, yeah, but I mean, it was an entirely new experience watching everything from within the courthouse, because the dynamics are a little bit different than I expected. I get to see what was going on when the camera was panning up on the seal. It was interesting. It was really interesting, you guys. And I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it immensely. And thanks to you guys, this entire trip was made possible. It started out as a weekend in Houston, and it evolved to this cross-country road trip where I got to spend a day in the courtroom of the YSL Trial. And in retrospect, should I have planned this trip a bit different? Yeah, in retrospect. But this is what it is, and not much to do about it now. Let's see who. Oh, there's a bunch of you guys here. Thank you for being here, folks. Thank you. Let's see. Casper, ja. Yar. I'm in a hotel room, so it's 10 p.m., so I can't do all the shouty things. Interestingly enough, the neighbor over there likes to sing in the morning. 6 a.m. he started singing this morning. Now, he's a good singer. Don't get me wrong. He's a really good singer. I'm not a cheerful person at 6 a.m. in the morning. Casper said, Nix said reminder to discuss Snicker Snacker, how Copeland acted, beating Bruce Harvey, prosecution shenanigans, and courtroom dynamics. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Hello, my sparkly plants, Taurus Hughes, Dream, Popeye's girl Maritza, Awiti, Roy, Gwendolyn is here, Cat in Wonderlands, Taurus, Postley Thunder, Jessica, Bree, J-Town, Little Cowboy, Lady Red, Polly Popcorn, Rhonda, Cos, Brandon, Esco. Which Nick went to jail today? This Nick has still not been incarcerated in the United States, but there's still time. Wood deception, yeah. I know Sylvia said you were there. Did you enjoy it? I did. I did. I can absolutely understand why people who are there in the courtroom day in and day out have a different experience than I had, who was there for the very first time. Could anybody there understand you? Yeah. I mean, there are some how I pronounce things and how Atlanteans say things, but everybody is in a good mood. And said this about Texas, I said this about New Orleans, and I'm saying it again about Atlanta. The best part of the United States are the people. Hands down. Absolutely best part. Absolutely best part. Oh no, I'm not speeding in Georgia. I am very annoying, according to a lot of other drivers in the United States. I oh, speed limit, yeah. I'm keeping the damn speed limits, and so I'm traveling in the far right lane. Let's just say that. Yeah, except the guy at the airport who took me to the wrong terminal. Yeah, that guy can. I'm only, and I'm not even 10 minutes in. Don't get me started already. Ah, yeah, okay, so let's begin with this morning. I woke up. Now, I was going to wake up around 6 a.m. anyway, but I was aiming for the alarm clock, not singing neighbor. But I got up anyway, get everything done and everything. And yeah, good hotel breakfast, by the way. Good hotel breakfast. Got in contact with Sylvia, and then I checked. Okay, where is the courthouse from this hotel? It's a 7-minute walk. So yeah, that took care of that. So I am. Who's bigger, you or Miss Love? Me. No, not even a competition. Let me say it this way. I went into the courthouse, met people. I saw Woody's new lawyer. We just had pleasantries, nothing in depth. Then I got to meet Bruce Harvey, and we had a good conversation. And because he was getting caught up by his co-counsel since he wasn't there yesterday. But we had a good conversation. I talked to him about his Second Amendment motion he did pre-trial. And that perked him up because first I said, I would really enjoy if we could have a conversation on a stream at a good time. And he said, oh, do you want to talk about this trial? No. The Second Amendment motion you did pre-trial. And he was really happy about that. So I got his card. Let's see if I have it. It is around here somewhere. I was walking without body armor. Yeah. What you have done differently about your trip? Where would you have spent more time? Atlanta. Because a few more days in court would have been very, very interesting to see more of this dynamic. Then again, higher risk of being jailed by prosecutor love. Now, with that said, you all know Mr. Harvey. You see, he's a tall guy. I have about maybe 3 or 4 inches on Bruce Harvey. And according to the stats online, me and Mr. Williams are about the same height, just over 6'3", just below 6'4", something of that sort. But I must say I have a good 40-50 pound on him. So once in the courtroom, well, outside I saw Mr. Steele. Said, "Hello, Mr. Steele. It's an honor to see you in person." And said, "I appreciated his work." I think he recognized me, but he didn't say he recognized me. Doug, Mr. Weinstein, was not there today, and he won't be there tomorrow. So I missed Doug, and we had plans, but his office sent him off away to another hearing trial thingy. Did the thug look at you? He looked over at me. I saw, I don't know, because thug is in jail or in the courthouse. I suspect he doesn't have much time to watch streams, but I do found glances over at our direction where we sat. So maybe. Let's see here. Does the jury seem engaged from your perspective? I had a bit of a hard time seeing them because where I was seated, there is a wall with tinted windows. So I did see the silhouettes of the people who were closest to me. But I did get information from Sylvia about them. And I did try to watch or at least those I saw through that window, see their reaction of some of the more interesting stuff that was said. So thank you, by the way, for the super chat. And thank you to Rhonda Hall, who says, "Thank you for the gifted membership. Please buy yourself Mrs. Sylvia some Starbucks in the morning. Thank you all. Thank you for all you do from across the pond." Thank you so much. I don't know if there is a Starbucks from between where I am and where she is, but I will make sure to try to do something. Well, why am I sizing up these people? I saw the question earlier if I was the biggest white guy in the room. Oh, by far. On the spectator end of the courtroom, I was the only white guy. Yeah, I stood out. Maybe that's why people looked over that direction, because yeah. How do I think Miss Hilton did today? She played videos. I mean, stop and pause and start. I mean, but the things in between was interesting. Jar gifted 10 memberships. Thank you. Let's see who was gifted. Kate Aiden, Keena Burke, Sunshine's Nana, Sailhounds, Weezy 2.0, Lakita Spencer, Yes, Crescent Wings Project, Special Bendy Bros, CMB was gifted. Congratulations, you now have access to all my members only content and your own member emojis. And I have to get that Discord link into the community section on my YouTubes. And yeah, thank you. You are now a part of the Viking squad. Thank you, Sue. Spill the beans on love. Is she as creepy as I think? I said this on Twitter, and there's not one person in that courtroom that likes Miss Love. Not one. So the demeanor of the spectators, the audience, the staff, the one person who is neutral is the judge. And the judge kind of has to. So, is she creepy? At one point, she tried to be friendly in one of the pauses, one of the many pauses today. She tried to be friendly and jokingly with the staff, and you could just see them, yeah, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, but hey, I came out of there. I'm still not in jail. I will be there tomorrow morning up until the morning break. Then I'm off again on this road trip. I will listen in on that trial and I will do recap tomorrow evening, tomorrow afternoon. Okay. Now to the trial part. This will be a recap, so let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Yes, get on with it. Let me know, by the way, if sound is okay. I kind of need to know if you can hear me properly or not there. I will not play the entire of today's stream because some of this is not that interesting, but there's one thing I really, really want to talk to you about. What am I drinking? I am having, there I am. Sweetheart of the rodeo bourbon. This is I should have bought another bottle when I was in Texas. This is a very local bourbon from Fayette County, Texas. I will check if I can find it somewhere else. This is a really good one. Hey, Cat Not Williams crew here. Hey, what is she done for today? Either way, let's get on with it. Yeah, let's just get on with it.
Good morning, I'm
Speeding up a bit. If you wonder where I am seated, let's go back here a bit. From where the camera is angled towards the judge, I am about 10 feet behind that camera. No, hi Brandon, thank you. 9 hours, we need some of your perspective mixed in. I will not play 9 hours of the trial stream. Is this when the judge? No, no, not when this is. I'm starting in the beginning and I will jump forward on occasions. Yeah, I also believe
right,
that young
Mr.
should
Engelberg.
write a song about me.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for jumping in when called upon. All right. Have you and Mr. Copeland had an opportunity to discuss his case matters, witness?
Yes.
Okay. And
Hello, Sue. Thank you for your super chat. Is there any talk anywhere about his immunity situation? Yes, it is. That Woody has been told he has immunity from the state and feds. Is there any talk anywhere about this immunity situation? I can confidently say yes. I can also not say how and when and why, or who I talk to, because trial strategy. That's seriously all I can say. Yeah, I know, Al. I said this yesterday as well, and it's been my opinion since this piece of paper showed up about his immunity. It does not cover federal prosecutions. It simply doesn't. If the feds decides to, hey, let's bring together a RICO trial. Look, that's the guy who admitted to this crime on live TV. Yeah, if a prosecutor decides to find somewhere to bring in even things that are out of the statute of limitations, Wood is screwed. Maybe this is redundant for me, but what's the layout? Are you to the lawyer's left? Yes, I am to the lawyer's far left. They are at the opposite end of the courtroom. The courtroom is enormous. It's more like a theater. You could easily pack in an audience of 300 people. If that would have been a movie salon, easily a 300-seater. And the judges' bench, enormous. And there's way more room behind the judge's seat than is shown on the stream. You could fit a kitchen behind her. Could shooting up a barbershop be a federal firearm charge? I presume so. Even if the statute of limitations might have run out on that, still, if they find any type of homicide, federal homicide charge, he's fucked. Oh, 22 minutes in, I'm already cursing. Oh well, you guys have donated and super chatted me enough to not bother about the about the ad possibilities of this stream. Thank you so much, guys. This, by the way, is Woody's new attorney. I made pleasantries with him, but I did not have a discussion with him. I so wanted to ask him about yesterday, how he plans to talk about that Woody was not represented most of yesterday's testimony. But I'm not a lawyer over there, at least. And I'm a jurist, not a lawyer. Just for clarification, I'm a jurist, not a lawyer. Vintage, thank you to Lacey Ann, Ms. Kings, Grayson, DC Cripple, and Red Bunny. Yay! Everybody say thank you. Everybody say thank you. You now also have access to all my members only stuff, like your own emojis.
And he was in the middle of testifying, as I think you know. Is he going to continue testifying? Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate your stepping in.
One issue, Judge.
All right. Can't hear. Come on up to the podium. Yeah, we all have to use our microphones in here.
You hear that term, no league goes unpunished. So
That is probably true.
Punished by some other judges for not hearing. So if I have any issues, I would request or ask the judge.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. Do any of the attorneys have anything to raise before I don't know if we have the jury quite ready or not, but we should within the next few minutes. Anybody have anything before that?
Your Honor, I received a telephone call yesterday from the evening from the Honorable Max Shard,
Okay.
who advised that Ms. Hilton advised him that the state intends to play the February 20th, 2015 interview. I'm not saying the whole thing, but at least that's how it was communicated to me. And that's Mr. Copeland, Ms. Quarterman, and Detective Curry.
Okay.
So I have, and I'll put in writing if you want, based upon the testimony. I don't know how we want to do it. If we should get together with the state first and see what parts they want to play, and then we have objections to it. But anyway, I reviewed that recording, so I'm prepared to quickly, and I can put in writing all my time slots to what I think would be whatever my objection will be spelled out. Confrontation clause, hearsay. Ms. Quarterman, to my knowledge, not testifying. Detective Curry, to my knowledge, not testifying. So I have those type of objections, as well as relevance, as well as not a consistent statement. But I don't want to waste any much time, but I just want to alert you that if the state wants to play that, like this morning, that may be an issue. That's all I wanted to bring up. It may not be an issue at this time.
Okay. And is this, who's the female? Is that another detective?
I apologize. That's his, and when I say his, I apologize that too. Mr. Copeland's significant other.
Okay.
It's been referred to as Quarterman. Quarterman.
And does she make any kind of statements on there?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
The statements that Ms. Quarterman states is in response to something that Mr. Copeland says. So you would need to hear her question to understand Mr. Copeland's answer. So it would be the rule of completeness to understand in context what Mr. Copeland is responding.
I see it. People, they couldn't hear what Woody's attorney said. Woody's attorney more or less said he has had discussions with his client. He believes he is fully up to speed. That's the short version of what he said to the judge. Ashley Jones, what is the difference between how the judge treated the prosecution versus the defense team? For this judge, the difference is like night and day. She treats the defense with respect. Does that mean that her rulings are more correct than Judge Glanville's? I will pass on that judgment until later. Hey, Kat. Hey. Oh, Kat gifted 5 memberships to Annabelle, CP Travels, Kim Morris, to Al, and to Brandon. Let's go. Oh, hello. Wow. Des Enforcer. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Wow, thank you. With a big heart. Hey, heart you too. Thank you. That is amazing. Thank you so much. And Kat Not Williams with another 5 memberships. Here. Again, I am immensely appreciative of everything you do, all of you. Again, I say this on every stream, never give what you don't have. If you have to choose between bread and me, choose bread. If you have to choose between beer and bread, no. Oh no. Let's see who was gifted those. Bamanola Adventures, Texi Deloniod, Chris aka Crystal, Frigg Snowden, Cannibal 3004. Did I miss anyone? Again, you now have access to my members only stuff. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, let's get back to the trial so we can get to the interesting stuff. Now, here again, the prosecution waits to the absolute last second with announcing to the defense, oh, by the way, we plan to play this. And yeah, I've said this over and over again. At what point is enough enough? At what point is enough enough? And for Judge Whitaker, she says a lot, but not much is happening.
Too. But if Mr. Steele wants to give us what his objections are, we can look at them. There might be some that we can agree to.
Well, to speed it up, I'm sorry.
Good.
The first 12 minutes is Detective Curry asking Miss Quarterman what she saw. So this, Your Honor, you heard testimony yesterday, and I understand it's a blizzard that we put you into. But it's February 20th, 2021. Mr. Copeland's carrying a child to a car. Ms. Quarterman, they're going to hospital, if you remember
Right,
that.
yeah.
Okay. Ms. Quarterman is there. She's a witness. So she's asked the first 12 minutes by the detective, and they're both sitting there, so it's kind of an odd interview, but the detective says, I'm going to start with you. What did you see? So that's not, in my opinion, a rule of completeness issue. There is a portion when the detective leaves the room. I believe that's what Ms. Hilton's referring to. And the two, meaning Mr. Copeland and Ms. Quarterman, are having conversation. Ms. Quarterman is giving information that I don't believe would be part of completing the story, make it in context. She's giving her own information. But again, that's part of the issue.
Okay, thank you. Is the state's intention to play that first 12 or so minutes that is basically, sounds like maybe the detective interviewing Ms. Quarterman?
Your Honor, anything that's just Ms. Quarterman and the detective, no. No, anything that is just Ms. Quarterman and the detective, no, we don't intend on playing. But the other portions, like I said, if Mr. Steele could just give that to us, we can review it and look at it. I don't think that the statements will be played before lunchtime,
Okay.
Your Honor. And so we can have an opportunity to look at it. The state also intends on playing the January 11th statement. And so I did call Mr. Shard last night because both the January 11th statement, Your Honor, and the February 20th statement were played.
Little bits of them.
No, the whole thing were played in June, like June 17th.
Okay.
And so I did not have in my email any.
I don't think the entirety was played on June 17th. I'm actually quite positive the entirety of those two weren't played.
Proposed redactions from the defense. So I wanted to confirm that, which is why I called Mr. Shard last night to find out, was there anything, because we did play, I believe, both of those interviews in its entirety back in June.
Okay. Okay. And do y'all anticipate objections to the January 11th statement other than those we've maybe already reviewed?
Well, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
So the January 11th statement, I did review that again last night. There are mentioned, my understanding of the task is to identify prejudicial, character, irrelevant, things of that nature, hearsay.
I have my language.
Confrontation clause. I've identified 3 areas on the transcript. I went by the transcript because we have, unfortunately for all of us, we have MP4 format and an evidence reviewer format. And seems like whenever I use a time, the state's on the other time and vice versa. So I'm using the transcript. On page 5, Kenneth Copeland is talking about Mr. Kelvin Watts shooting up about the meeting, about the blood meeting supposedly with this gentleman Mo on the line. And I have previously objected to that, saying it's hearsay. I think we've already addressed that issue. And Your Honor has not agreed with me, but for the record, page 5 of that transcript for the January 11th hearing, that's discussed. Page 7, he being Kenneth Copeland talks about speaking to Demekion Garlington, and Demekion Garlington says, they say Nut just got killed, bro. That's the extent of what he says was said at that time. I believe that is hearsay. And then on page 26, that was page 7. On page 26 of the transcript, there's talk about Kenneth Copeland knowing that Shell Kell shut up the gambling house. And eventually he says thug, I refer to him as Mr. Jeffrey Williams, saying that they need to pay for the window. Those are 3 topics that we've talked about in my previous proposed redactions. So, and Your Honor's already ruled on it, but for the record, I just need to state that those are objections I have to playing the audio. All that being said, Your Honor, my understanding of where we are right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, the defense has flagged objections that we had that were obvious objections. The state, I understand, is planning on playing videos. We have not addressed whether a foundation has been laid to just play the videos wholesale.
Okay.
I know that Miss Hilton's been asking a lot of questions and has gotten very responses from Mr. Copeland to her questions, but I still think that that's a topic that needs to be discussed. The state is the proponent of these prior inconsistent statements as they're labeling them. So I believe that burns on them to show that a foundation's been laid. So from my perspective, we haven't had that discussion yet. We just had the initial flagging of
Right.
obvious issues because we didn't know Mr. Copeland's testimony at the time where we were discussing these things. He still understands, so quite frankly, we still don't.
Yes, Your Honor. So at this point, Your Honor, the state has gone through with Mr. Copeland the January 11th interview, the February 20th interview, the February 21st, and the January 28th interview, Your Honor. The state's position at this time is that Mr. Copeland has stated he doesn't recall anything that he told police at all in any of these interviews. And while
What? Now, there's a few people in between me and I need to see that. Well, I must say that he is more or less looking exactly in the direction I am.
Addressed the
No, that's
whether
for me. That is for one of the wink and the wave is not for me. That is for, I believe, who is in the line there is the cop who assists in Woody's transfer. I believe that is the one, or some of the sort. So no.
a foundation has been laid.
Let's skip ahead a bit. Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor. So at this point, Your Honor, the state has gone through with Mr. Copeland the January 11th interview, the February 20th interview, the February 21st, and the January 28th interview, Your Honor. The state's position at this time is that Mr. Copeland has stated he doesn't recall anything that he told police at all in any of these interviews. And while I have been going line by line, which has been a very tedious task, the fact that he has said, I don't recall, I believe I can play the entirety of the interview, given that that's his blanket statement. But in an abundance of caution, the state has been going line by line. But I think I'm at the place, in all honesty, that I can play all these interviews outside of the redactions.
Yeah. The judge will agree. I'm not sure why, because in order for it to be an inconsistent statement, he has to say something that is specifically different from that specific statement, in my opinion. As in, when she asked, did you say this? And he says, no, I said that. Now, on occasions, he says, I lied all the time, you can trust me, and some of the sort. But that is, in my opinion, too wide to allow everything in. But here we are.
Yeah, I think that the foundation's been laid, that he's been given an opportunity he's been presented with them, he's been given an opportunity to say whatever he wants to say about them. He has essentially said wholesale, I don't remember a single word I ever said to anybody who is law enforcement, including every bit of these things. And they would be able to be played now the foundation's been laid. With regard, Mr. Steele, to your objections to the February 20th statement, other than the parts that I understand the state does not intend to play, that are essentially Detective Curry interviewing Ms. Quarterman, are your other objections new objections or things we've already been over?
I don't believe we've been over them.
Okay.
His speech is made, that's my word. Advice given by Detective Curry on how to live life. Mr. Copeland gives his pontification on what life is about. And they talk about belief in death, and I don't see that relevant.
All right.
I mark those things. We didn't talk.
Can you quickly get those together and get them to the state? And maybe if there's agreement on some of those things, y'all can come to that agreement, and whatever is left, we can deal with over the lunch break? Sounds like maybe we're going to have a working lunch.
I think I can do it.
Okay, great. Appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you.
And Your Honor, I understand the court's ruling regarding the prior inconsistent statements, just so I don't have to be a jack in the box popping up every.
Yeah, everybody's got continuing objections to
Thank you.
anything that they have already stated an objection to that's been overruled.
I appreciate that, Your Honor.
All right, anything else? No, everybody. All right, we have Mr. Copeland available? Okay, and is the jury ready? All right, let's get Mr. Copeland on the stand and then we'll have the jury out.
All right, and in comes Mr. Copeland. Let's skip ahead.
All right, we're going to get the jury out. I understand that you have had an opportunity to consult with Mr. Engelberger, and we will continue your testimony, and I'll just remind you that you are still under oath.
Okay, here we do the up you stand, down you sit. Now, there are wooden benches, but luckily there are these quite thick seats, but they are more filled with air, like air cushions. So I took two of them, placed on top of each other, and every time I sat down, there was a and the only thing I could think for the first few times was if my 12-year-old me would definitely make these into whoopee cushions. That would have made this trial so much more amusing. Where is the jury? The jury is to the direct left of where Woody is, maybe 10 feet to his left. It's where they all sit. Thank you again for your super chat, Brandon.
Okay, good morning.
John Diva, we will get there. We need to have a few things in order about what a jury may or may not have said at the end of today. And thank you to Brenda for your $5 via PayPal. Thank you so much. That is extremely sweet. For you who don't know, YouTube takes a chunk. It takes a cut. Everything.
Thanks so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
But PayPal takes a much lesser cut, between 2 and 5%, depending on the sum of money. So yeah, I get a lot more if you choose PayPal, but then again, I can't show it on screen from PayPal. So that's the main difference. For me, you choose what's good for you, what is easier for you to do. I'm deeply appreciative of everything.
All right, Ms. Hilton, you can proceed.
Your Honor, this time the state would like to tender State's Exhibit 378Y Alpha, the January 11th, 2015 interview of Mr. Copeland to introduce for impeachment purposes based on a prior inconsistent statement.
All right, that is admitted.
permission to publish?
You may.
Thank you.
Yeah, and now it begins. The watching videos. Now, before I play that, here is one thing I would like you to watch for. It's something, it's called detachment. When a person detaches him or herself from what is being shown. Now, usually this is very subconscious. I would call it mimicking. An over obvious example of mimicking is an old married couple watches wedding photos or wedding video, and they start, when they watch that, to mimic what is going on, what they watch. You can also, as an example, have how do you act when you go back to a school reunion? You go back into an old role sometimes. That is what I call mimicking. I want you to look at Mr. Copeland, Woody, and tell me how much or how little mimicking is going on and how much or how little detachment is going on. If, oh, good. That's, okay, I will show at least part of it. Otherwise, I will tell you, because I haven't seen the Law and C-word stream on this. Oh, and Cat gifted 5 more. To Rocco Rockwell, Julio Suave, John Walden, Tough Cookie, and Will Colmatic. Hey! All right. The rest of what is coming in, I will take in a natural stop in this. So I don't have to pause every 5 minutes. I would love to pause every 5 minutes, just saying.
Yeah. 906.
First question. That's my attribution. Okay, when you're gonna talk, then I'm talking to his family. Okay? I'm gonna let his family put it out. But please pick it one thing at a time. Okay, Kevin? One thing at a time.
Do I supposed to be listening to it?
I know, man. It's frustrating.
And Woody says, am I supposed to be listening to it? Nobody told the judge that Woody is hard of hearing. She was not pleased. She was infuriated. And you remember, last time they did this, they had everything set up with Miss Weaver, the court reporter. Nobody told the judge.
He's not gonna stop. Okay. The brother don't, play.
Maybe a post briefly.
Yeah.
And now the prosecution. Oh, crap. Yeah, I do believe Miss Weaver shared her headset with Woody. And oh, by the way, sidebar counter 220. Folks, it was that close for me to say that out loud in court. It was so close for me to say that out loud in court today. You cannot imagine. I've been saying the sidebar counter since I believe day 3 of this trial. And by pure reaction, I started with the inhale, and then my mind kicked in. Oh no, you don't. Oh no, you don't. Oh. Sidebar counter 220. And it's not the last sidebar counter for today, by the way. But here they are. And there is a break. And there is a break. There are at least 5 people in and out. The judge is down from her seat trying to solve it. They called one technician. Couldn't solve it. They called another technician. Couldn't solve it. The third technician, together with the judge and the court reporter, finally solved it by getting him a laptop. And what you don't hear, because Law and Seward and everybody paused and looked at the seal, she was not happy, Judge Whitaker. She was infuriated for not being told this. Why didn't I go to YSL Cadillac's meet and greet? I wasn't here on time. I didn't get in here until 10 p.m. yesterday. I listened to it and I thought to myself, can I speed up? No, I can't, because the highways are filled. I mean, every 15, 20 minutes, there's a cop car. There is a cop in between the lanes. Now, I so much wanted to, but I didn't get there in time. I wish I could have been there. Yeah, so this went on for quite some time before they finally solved it. Not at this point. Not at this point. She was just very infuriated. Calmly, ice cold, infuriated. Why she wasn't made aware of this.
Let's get him to get the jury out. Ms. Copeland, I think we've got a solution so that you'll be able to hear the video while it's playing. You can just put those headphones on.
Oh, it's all right, yeah.
Yes, I will be back in the morning, up until morning break. Then I have to check out and get going. And I will spend the rest of the day visiting things in and around Atlanta. I want to see that aquarium. I really do.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. I cannot even imagine how many times y'all have already been told that over the course of this trial. As with so much with modern life, technology makes things easier for us sometimes, but it also gives us some headaches sometimes. But I think we're ready to go now. So, Ms. Hilton, you can go ahead.
I don't know what Magic City is. No, I'm not going to meditate. Thanks for the suggestion,
You're gonna talk.
but I'm not.
Then I'm talking to his family, okay? And when his family put it out. But please pick him one thing at a time. Okay, Kim? One thing at a time. All right? I know that he's frustrated. He's not gonna stop. Okay. The brother don't, cause I don't know what I did to this man, bro. I've been face to face with him, but I shook his hand like he's over it, but he's not reaching my mother. You feel what I'm saying?
I wish they had a split screen on Woody and this video. He does not care one bit of what's going on in this interview. No mimicking, no recognition, complete detachment on a level I've only seen a handful of times in my career, in my 30+ year career as practicing law. I've seen this a handful of times. This complete detachment that he has while watching this specific video. Hi Sarah, thank you for your super chat. Canadian 1314. I've been following this case from Canada and as a law student, I cannot wait for them to sue the whole state of Georgia. Not going to happen. Sorry to say that. There are prosecutorial and judicial immunity in place. The justice system doesn't work when prosecutors start caring about winning. I agree. I completely agree. But the justice system made sure to give themselves immunity. And that is, I mean, probably the hardest things in law is to hold a prosecutor and the judge accountable. No, Demaniac Smith, I will not do that, Paul, but thank you for the suggestion.
That's why you gonna sit down, you gonna tell me what's going on between you and him, and then we go from there. But it's gonna happen after the taking. What you mean? When I go here, okay?
Yeah, the sound through, here I go again. The sound through Law and C-word is not good. You can barely hear what's been going on. In the courtroom, much better, much better. At even me as a non-Georgia person or non-Atlanta person, I picked up on quite a few things in this. And I have to say, watching that video and watching how the cop reacted, I could tell, or at least this is my interpretation alone. Woody keeps trying the field against this interviewer, this cop. What's working? What's not working? Okay, that doesn't work. Let's leave that. Is this working? Is this working? It's almost, have you all seen a mentalist show? That magician who seemingly reads your thoughts? I get that notion from Woody listening in on his this what Cat Williams 9K. Oh, we hit 9K. I have 9,000 subscribers. Yes, I have 9,000 subscribers. Wow. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. And thank you so much, Cat Williams. Thank you so much. Hold Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, it keeps going up. Wow. Thank you, guys. This little old Swede is, no, well, little old, yeah. Thank you so much. Woo, yeah. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed, folks. And thank you to SEK811 for your $2. Love to know how you seem to be reacting today. We will get there. We will get there, folks. We will get there. I promise you. I promise you. Back to this. As I said, normally in a police interview, you see the cop running the show. I didn't see it here. I saw Woody running the show. Now, cop did their normal cop stuff. Asked the correct questions, tried to move it in a certain direction with little to no success. In my opinion, this is only my opinion. You can all say I'm wrong if you think so, and if others disagree, I don't mind. But this is my channel and my opinions. And this becomes more evident, for me at least, the longer the interviews are going. When we get to the second interview with the most incompetent cop in history, Investigator Gadier, oh, it becomes so much evident. Now remember, I'm trained at this. I've been doing labor law for over 30 years. I've been in negotiations and mitigations with some of Europe's biggest companies. We're talking billionaires here who send their absolute best people. I've been there. So I do believe I have some experience in this.
I'll take care of that for you. Like I said, get the family, his family, to tell them to leave you alone. If they ain't got no proof showing you did anything, they need to leave you the fuck alone. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Right? Today's date is January 10th, 2015. Time is approximately 0300 hours at 3 o'clock a.m. I'm here with Mr. Kenneth Copeland. Yes. And Mr. Copeland, can you give me your date of birth, sir? July 25th, 1991. July 25th, 1991? Yes. Okay. You got Mr. middle name, Mr. Copeland? Is Xavier?
Now, I'm going to play a few of these.
Here's a reference to the homicide investigation of victim name of Donovan Thomas.
Bolts.
It happened at 330 McDade Street, Southwest Civil Atlanta, Fulton County, State of Georgia, on January 9th, 2015, with another police case number 15010-210. When you're ready, Mr. Copeland, tell me exactly what you know dealing with this situation. Like now, without everything, tell me everything. What made you want to pull you into this situation that happened? Okay. Me and Kale. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, probably in the club. Is that him? But it's not. Okay. Kale, they say this is a little brother, but I thought they just changed it, but they say they're real brothers. Kale. K-E-L. K-E-L. Kale. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Little brother of that is who you identified from the picture, which is Donovan Thomas. Yes, sir. Okay, go ahead. Me and him got into it in the club push. What day was that? It's just like it was like a lot. Okay. So 2 months, 3 months, a year, how long? Yeah, I'm saying no longer than 4 months. 4 months. So they tell you I'll be a couple crucial, I'll see each other, y'all get to it. We don't even fight, we don't do none of that. I'm talking about fighting was last time. Okay, but what was that? Monday is his face. Monday. Okay, go ahead. So I'm trying to get to that club. You know what I mean? They shoot birds at every shoot like it. You know that? All of a sudden, we go outside. So we're on that, we're about to fight, we're about to you know what I'm saying? Everybody just go outside.
Okay, this is the start of this interview. That now they are jumping back and forth. Let's see if I can find where it might get more and more apparent. Yeah, this one.
Mr. Copeland, go ahead and tell me what you just advised me of in the office. If you can't serve me.
Yeah, the reason they did a jump in this interview was because they walked out and then came back. And apparently, Woody took advantage of that by telling this cop a story. And now the cop asks him, can you please repeat this as detailed as you possibly can? This, I believe, is the moment in this interview Woody has this cop completely in his hands. Completely.
You be in detail about what was going on today in every event that happened today. Okay. Okay, I left my girl's house. My brother gave me the car. So my brother gave me the car. I had put up in Canada. And I left the girl, she gave me a little baggie for my mouth. And I put out some little something my mouth. I left there. I went on Cleveland. I was with Liddy, pick up Liddy. You know what I'm saying? So Liddy was like, hey, boy, he said, no, he got shot. This first thing he said, like, for real. And then he was like, yeah, we talked. So I moved to FaceTime me. And he was like, he told me the same. So I was like, well, I just heard it. He just told me. So he was like, yeah, it's like, you know the name is screaming. So I'm like, who? I like, shit, you know, I already know. He's like, yeah, but even he got shot, so one thing was a big deal. So I'm like, all right. So most of like, you better come out. I'm like, all right, come when you come out. So I got a phone with him. So I took the D down to the whole house. I'm gonna turn my name to the girl house. I haven't got this young. I put up at Jojo's house. I called her, she came out the door, she got out the door. I said, hey, where does Jojo live? She stayed on Metro Lunch behind the Chevron. And it's a little apartment. So when I went to the son of Jojo's house, I told Jojo, they son, like, they say nothing got shot. And she like, for real, the one, him and her dad know each other. She like, yeah. I said, they son, I did. Like, everybody on Twitter, like, already met. So I'm telling her, like, damn, man, like, so she like, what we gonna do? I said, man, I'm gonna talk to the police. She like, okay, this man, they son about. But I had, me and her rolled out. She said she wanted to have me. She ordered food. She asked for, so we're going to my brother's house. So I was going to talk to my brother about what happened. I seen him tickets. And then when I get to my brother's house, I'm turning left into the apartment this week. Where do your brother live? Come home. I'm already at it.
There, unmuted. The difference between the start of this interview, the cop had some control. Now it's Woody's show, which leads me to believe, at least, that do I believe that Woody has been truthful on the stand this past few times? Woody is Woody. I can't tell when he's lying and when he's not lying. And I usually can. I mean, on a rough estimate, I am in 50 negotiations per year, once a week at least. I've met thousands of people, and I had a good BS meter to start with, and that has developed over time. I can't, by Woody's words, demeanor, I can't tell when he's lying and when he's not lying. Unless I see him do that detachment thing. How he reacts on watching himself. Because there's a difference between this interview and the next interview when his girlfriend is there. And I must, that is kind of hard for me to admit that I can't tell. Because I usually can. Does that make Woody to, saw this from GD earlier, so GD says, having worked in the prison system, I see Woody for who he is, actually a potentially dangerous sociopath. I can't go that far because there are so extremely few actual sociopaths out there. It's a word that is often flung around about people, but there are very, very few of them. Very extremely few actual sociopaths. Do I see tendencies? Yes. But can I go that far? I just by statistics alone, I can't. Not by statistics.
I'm trying to live from Pine Road to the inside apartments where he stayed. I see this Camaro flying out. So when I turn left, the Camaro like it goes straight. And then I go, instead of going in front of the door, I went around to the gate. So as I went around to the gate, I had the wrong gate card. So the gate card was to the side apartment. So as I was kicking, it went over to the back to go park around in the front. Because I was going to have a brother call the police. So as I back back, I see the same Camaro fly to the stop sign, but it was going to bed in this. And they turned left behind. Like when they turned left, I was in front of them. So I went to the stop sign, I made left. When I made left, I went to the next stop sign.
Okay, what does it mean when he's detaching himself? At the stand now when he's watching this, because I was watching this on the screen and him, there is absolute zero mimicking going on. For instance, when you see an artist hearing their own music, you hear them go, because subconsciously you can't help yourself often to react to yourself in a previous situation. Woody is completely detached from what's going on here. No reaction whatsoever. And I do believe that's intentional. So, yeah, that is what I mean with he is detaching himself from what's going on here in this interview. And that is really, really hard to do, especially when it goes on for this long. To not have any visual reaction to what he's saying, how his demeanor is, his mannerisms, the thing he does with his hands. None of it was seen. And that was a bit unnerving, I must admit.
But the next time, there's two more cars flying in front of me. But they made the lift coming down Pine Road into the apartments, and I was already in front, so now we faced up. I turned left again to go back in front of my brother door behind the church. So when I turned left, I looked back in the mirror. I told his son, I did them right now, touch your seat. So when she let her seat that I was leaving them, they pulled the stop sign. And they decided they looked at us, and then they went straight. When I turned my brother door, I ran stop sign, I went right. I went to the other stop sign, I was left. I took off, went towards the precinct, and went through the little bus man and got me straight. Precinct where? Like on Lakewood, FBA. Okay. I went that way. I got on the spreadway. I got on City Road. I was going to my house. I know they don't want to know that's my grandma's state. But when I got there, I had dropped the son off at children's house. I heard that.
Yeah. I can't do anything about the sound here. So, but I think we've seen enough of this with my explanation of my interpretation. Or I so wish there was a split screen between so you could yourself see the difference between this interview and him on the stand. So let's skip ahead to let's listen to what's going on just before, because of course let's see, where is it? They're sending out the jury.
Judge,
Yes,
I can go to the bathroom?
yeah, we can all take a bathroom break.
So there is a bathroom break. And then, come on, stop doing the wall of doom. Let's do this so you can see all the people.
All right, just scheduling wise. What's after this?
It is the state's intention to play the rest of the videos. However, I have not heard anything from defense counsel regarding the redactions I sent over to make sure that they were okay with the redactions from the January 28th.
Okay,
The
well,
February
presumably they had.
Oh, now Mr. Shard stands up.
Plenty of time during the hour it took for us to get the technology up and running for Mr. Copeland to be able to hear. So are y'all ready on the defense side to provide those over to the state so that maybe we can work over the lunch hour?
And I'm sorry, I should be clear, Your Honor. I know that Mr. Steele is working on February 20th that he needs to give to me, but the other interviews are what we discussed 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And so yesterday I sent over the transcripts with the highlighted areas to confirm
Okay.
that those are the redactions. And so I haven't heard anything.
Well, that shouldn't take much time. I mean, is the defense pretty much ready to go on?
So, Your Honor, my understanding from communications with Attorney Hilton is her intent is to play the 220 interview next, correct?
So long as we get the redactions, but if I don't have them, I don't want to delay. So I would go to 128. But if we get the redactions and we can deal with it, then I can move forward.
So the 220 redactions are not something that's already been redacted. That's the ones that Mr. Steele was saying need to be discussed. Regarding the other redactions that were the transcripts that were provided yesterday, I have Mr. Mansbach and Mr. Kokomo checking behind them. We have them checking behind those redactions currently, and they're actively working on that, and we should have an answer for that soon. But there's been no transcript given to us. I don't know if there's been no discussion between the state, the defense, and the court. The 220 redactions have not been litigated yet, and I think that's the next.
Okay, I'm not really sure why that is even the case, because I thought we had covered everything y'all wanted to cover when we were going through his statements last week, but be that as it may, that's what we can work on over the lunch break. We're going to have a working lunch, but you can quickly, like in the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes, turn around the others, or no?
Well, the others are later. I don't believe that the state is planning on playing those next, but we are working on those.
Yeah. Again, the prosecution screws up intentionally, in my opinion, and then tries to blame the defense. Oh, they didn't do their job. We just told them at some point, and now it's their responsibility. No, it's not. And it's infuriating.
But
I mean, I think what Ms. Hilton was saying is, no, ideally she wouldn't, but instead of holding up the jury yet again, she would be willing to go out of turn for that. Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
which one do you, in an ideal world, which one are you trying to play next?
In the ideal world, it would be 220. However, if we have to litigate that, I can switch to 128 because that's what we already discussed 2 weeks ago. We've already talked about those redactions. And so the only thing that
Did you hear that? Now she admits it's the 128 they discussed a couple of weeks ago, not the 220. Isn't that strange? She gets caught. She acts like nothing happened.
transcript does is confirm what we've already discussed.
I understand we talked about it 2 weeks ago. We are trying to confirm the transcripts, and they were provided to us yesterday. And
But the
so,
redaction times have always been there. So
okay,
It really,
In the discussions last week, the judge told the prosecution, you need to send it over to them as soon as humanly possible so they can get through it. And they got it yesterday. Again, prosecution being the prosecution.
shouldn't take that long.
okay, well, we are actively working on it. I'm looking at the people that are working on it, and they're nodding in agreement. So if I could just check to where
Okay.
we are with that, and
All right. So Ms. Hilton, as long as there's one of those that they can be ready on in the next 10 minutes, when we get back from our break, you'd be able to proceed with that one. All right.
I'm being told by Mr. Hansback that he is 10 minutes out of
All right, perfect.
confirming the 128.
Fantastic. Thank you. Let's all take our convenience break as well.
And convenience break.
Car, and it created the
You see, I'm not playing the entire 9 hours because today is a lot of breaks.
So, Your Honor, I checked with my bosses here. Mr. Kokomo,
Hang on just a second.
oh, I'm sorry,
Who are we missing?
Mr. Abt.
And law and crime cuts out the sound. Yeah, I agree with you in the chat. I can't believe the judge giving the prosecution chance after chance after chance.
Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Kokomo reviewed February 21st.
Okay.
There was one issue we had, page 165, line 5. If you recall, you ruled it out. It was when he was using pronouns, they, after they shot up the car, and it created the impression that Mr.
Some people are wearing masks because a wife of one of the attorneys has come down with something. That's why.
Stillwell and Mr. Garlington shot up a car, but that's not what he was saying. So you ruled that out, and I assume that the state's going to address or to take care of that oversight.
Is that right? Y'all gonna take care of that oversight?
Yes, Your Honor. It's actually page 65, line 5. Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Now, Your Honor, as it pertains to the January 28th statement, on approximately page 180, and I can get the transcript and we can talk about the specifics. There was a portion that I wanted, that the state wanted out, and that was where Mr. Copeland was talking about who we think may have done the Donovan Thomas killing. And the state said it was hearsay and speculation, and I argued that it showed that he was talking about he wasn't naming our clients and was saying other things, and Your Honor ruled in our favor. They've taken that out.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if my stance is we're telling the jury that we're playing his statement.
Right.
And strategically, I understand that they might want to keep that out and keep that from a jury, but if we're telling the jury we're playing his statement, it seems to me that it's gamesmanship that doesn't really make a lot of sense in this trial. If they're going to make us get up and replay a statement, and we're going to have to reestablish context just to play 2 minutes, and if character stuff, that should come out, but to selectively choose what you're playing, I don't think that would be appropriate in this circumstance.
They've got a point there. I mean, if we're basically taking an hour long or 2 hour long or however long it is statement and saying, here it is. You ought to kind of have to take the bad with the good.
Yeah. But this is the prosecution. If they think they can get away with it,
And I think
They
the
will
state's
try.
position is we don't know if they're going to play it until cross-examination because we don't intend to bring it in. They're telling us that that's what they're going to do, but we really don't know until.
Okay, well, I mean, for ease, we could just do it this way, but what if they represent as an officer of the court, they're going to do it? Then would you do it? And I'm not going to make you, but if they are going to do it, then they will be entitled to do it. So it's just a matter of when it gets done.
I mean, we can jump up and down in front of the jury and talk about how they strategically excised a certain portion of his statement to not give them the truth about what was said and to hide facts from them, the jurors. But it would seem to me that we would want the jurors to hear everything in context.
So can I ask specifically which lines you're referencing and what timestamps?
You know exactly what lines there are because.
Should I just send the jury to lunch, y'all? I mean, we're not going to.
Yeah, the prosecution knows exactly because once the defense said, we are going to play this cross-examination, the prosecution said, oh, then we're not going to play it at all, and then we're going to challenge your right to play it, which is stupid. That is more or less what's going on here now.
Get through more than about 15 minutes of any statement before it's lunchtime.
The state wouldn't object to that because hopefully we can work through the 220 as well and get everything resolved.
Okay, so why don't we have them come back? How long do we think? I don't know why nobody said anything about, oh gosh, we still haven't done the February 20th statement, but how long are we anticipating that taken?
15 minutes, and
Oh, okay. All right, great. That should.
This is on Mr. Steele because it did not take 15 minutes, and I don't believe it's the defense fault. I believe it's the prosecution just being difficult.
Be an issue then.
So as we can see, if there's anything that we can see to, so it might be shorter than that, depending on what it is.
Okay. All right. How quickly?
Okay, I want to address this one while we wait. I'm trying to star some things that show up. Toria Williams says, one of the officers has a show on A&E called Homicide in the Atlanta, the one that moonlighted at Nordstrom. To me, was jealous of Jeffrey, aka Thug, because he could afford to shop there and he couldn't. Yeah, this is the team of Velasquez and the other one, the two officers. One of them has testified. Both of them have testified in this trial. One of them as a gang expert. And Velasquez, and I've said this before and I will say it again, on the stand in this trial, under oath, said he would delete witness statements he didn't like until he got a statement he liked. That he kept. That, folks, is evidence tampering. That's a crime. And that ass, that bad cop, worked until retirement and then has a show pretending to be a good cop. He's not. He's a morally corrupt cop who probably put a lot of innocent or at least not guilty people in prison because he could, because he thought he was morally superior to everyone else. In my opinion, Detective Velasquez at least should be charged with evidence tampering. But the statute of limitations has run out. And he can't be charged. So he can still walk the streets of Atlanta pretending he did a good job as a cop.
What we're going to do, we're going to take the lunch break. Y'all probably.
Yeah, and then they worked through the lunch break with the redactions. And they played stuff. Woody's not on the stand here, by the way. And off a bit. And the camera guy was a bit late back from lunch. We missed.
Let's go ahead and get the jury in. Oh, and Mr. Copeland also. Thank you. This was a perfect example of how lawyers vastly underestimate how long they're going to talk. I love that this was going to be 15 minutes, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, well.
Oh, you have no idea, Your Honor. Oh, when Miss Hilton estimates how much is left of that interview. Oh, and by the way, for you who don't know, Woody is in jail in Cook County. So he's being driven to court each day. His arrest in Cook has nothing to do with this trial, as far as I know.
We got through it.
Thank you.
I really need y'all to think, though, at the end of the evenings, what's going to come up tomorrow? What might I need to go ahead and get done? What might I need to tell the judge about?
Yes, your Woody is locked up. I have no idea over what. I have no clue. I found out today. In the courtroom. So he's being woken up at 6 a.m. in the morning from Cook County and driven to the courtroom. That is what I was told today in the court. I have no idea why he's in jail, how long he has been in jail. That is what the information. Yeah, I know his account was online today. I know. I don't get it either. I know he's posting on everything. I don't know how he does it. That is just the word in the courtroom. Now, is there a chance I got bullshitted in the courtroom? Sure, but that is the thing. That's what I was told in the courtroom. He walks out accompanied by a cop. He doesn't walk out on his own. I don't know, Tosha. I don't know how the information I got in the courtroom today about him being jailed goes along with everything he does online. I have no idea. As I said, they might have bullshitted me because I'm a foreigner and they know I would. I have no idea. But yeah, if it is shown, it is a woman cop who accompanies him in and out, and there's always a guard where he is. Woody was at the table with Miss Sylvia yesterday. I know. Yeah, this may be misinformation. I might have been bullshitted. But if I find out stuff in the courtroom, I will share it. And if you tell me it's bullshit, okay, then I was played. Miss Sylvia would have said something. Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, I had also seen him live. It's not a Cook County. Well, it starts with a D, I think.
I'll do it for the
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Holden.
Your Honor, just want to stay with like the tender State's Exhibit 378,
All right.
Yankee Charlie, which is the
Apparently, folks, I was played in court today. If he's being out and about. There is a Cook County in Georgia, but it's in the south. Let's see if I can get it up here. It is between, it's southeast of Albany. Huh? Is that, no, that's not. Is that really Cook County, Georgia? No. That's, no. That's Cook County, Georgia. Okay, I believe you. I believe you. Cobb County. Okay, Cobb County. Thank you. There are a lot of those stuff. Okay, then I guess I was played in court today. Can't win them all. Why am I prejudiced against Woody? Oh, go fuck yourself. Go fuck. Granite Financial Capital Solutions. You scam motherfucker can go fuck yourself all the way to hell. Get this motherfucker out of my... I don't want filth in my channel. Go fuck yourself. All right. Okay. Then we know that I was played. My apologies.
February 20th, 2015
Now
interview
the cursors.
as a prior inconsistent statement.
Piece of
All right, that's admitted.
And- Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, this your ex, right?
Yeah.
So I got your first name is your middle initial, right?
My middle initial is
Is it? But ain't that his first name? Your son.
No, that's not her last name Copeland.
He's talking about your middle name. Is that her first name?
Oh yeah. Okay. DAISHAWN, Quarterman.
Mhm.
Today. And another day. I think when that happened, it happened yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. February 15.
Okay, now we are into this. At this point, in this specific interview, Woody's demeanor on the stand changed dramatically. He started smiling. He was much more attentive. No longer the detachment. No longer the detachment. That was really, really interesting to see. Yeah, I agree, magnificent creations. The media would have mentioned it. I should have checked it more thoroughly. My apologies. But his demeanor here, watching the interview with his girlfriend in the room, and it might be as Rachel, his first baby mama. Again, I don't want to misrepresent the information. If she has passed away or not, I don't know. I simply don't know. You tell me, chat. You tell me, chat. But his demeanor in this, while watching this interview, completely different. And it might be because they have a daughter together. It might be he's remembering his baby mama, and so I don't know. What I do know is his demeanor on the stand changed dramatically. And remember, this is in front of the jury. Cobb is next to Douglas. We've ordered full.
Okay, I'm gonna read you this statement. Both of you, neither one of you in custody.
We do know that
so you know your rights.
You will not testify in this stand.
That you're the right to remain silent, and you do not have to make any statement at all. That any statement that you may be used against you in a court of law. That I have the right to counsel with an attorney before making any statement, and have said attorney present with me while I'm making a statement. That if I do not have enough money to employ an attorney, I have the right to have one appointed by the courts to represent me, to counsel with him before making any statement, and to have him present with me while I am making a statement. That if I request an attorney, no questions will be asked for me until an attorney is present to represent me. Based on this statement, both y'all statements, are y'all willing to freely get a statement? Okay, okay. And that I have read, and that you have not been threatened or promised to have been made to induce me to sign this waiver. So anybody threatening you to sign this waiver, anything like that, you don't feel like I'm Investigator Curry, Investigator OK Curry. What you drop?
I've never done people without
I ain't know. Phone over here. You need to plug the phone over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we going up here.
Okay, I will try to find. Let's see if I can find a picture of that courtroom. Maybe here. Is that one? Oh, that's not the one. Darn it. There has to be a photo of that damn courtroom. It's the biggest courtroom in that building. Okay, I can't find it immediately, but between where I'm seated, which is the spectator on the far left, there is a wall with tinted windows between us and the jury. Now the lawyers see the jury, the witness see the jury, the judge see the jury. We as spectators do not see the jury. But I do see the silhouettes, and I do listen to Sylvia when she talks about what she observes. And today, nobody paid attention. Nobody. One person was snuggled in a blanket because it's quite cold and did not pay any attention. The state said in open court that would have state and federal immunity. No, they actually didn't. They claim that all the statute of limitations has run out, so he doesn't face that prosecution. That does not mean federal immunity is in play, because it isn't. He only has state immunity and nothing else.
You sign right there with it. Sign first. All right. So we'll get over here. On the 19th of February,
You want to pause at 1:41:59?
All right.
Now, again, Woody's demeanor during most of this police interview with his baby mama, completely different. It's like watching two different people.
why would they be still shooting at you?
This should give me a headache, man. You get it, man. Everybody asks the same question, man. This bad thing about it, man. I can't take. This bad thing about everything going on, man. I could have got hurt. She could have had her other baby. And when they come back and question me, ask me what happened. I can't even say what it's about, man.
Variant, I understand. Woody asked Whitaker if he had both federal immunity. Whitaker asked the state. The state implied that's the case. He doesn't have federal immunity. The only immunity in play is the state immunity. The claim from the prosecution is that all his alleged crimes, statute of limitations, all the alleged crimes in this time period that he is supposed to testify about, the statute of limitations has run out. That does not mean that a federal prosecutor decides, you know what, I found that murder in 2018, just to say a number, by that gang member, and we believe Woody is a part of it. Boom. Everything he said in court will be evidence in a federal trial. Now, there's extremely small risk of that happening, but he does not have federal immunity.
I can't. Honestly, shit, man. I didn't know they said I got 97 days to live, man. If I ain't dead 97 days, shut up neighborhood. That's the only thing I really can suggest go by right now. All this because of flesh and money. Now, me and Kelly had beef. We didn't have beef because it's been plenty of time we seen each other in the street and talk about it. Let it go. Shook this nigga hand. He walked this way, I walked this way. We let it go.
So you brought up Kale. You know about what happened to Kale, right?
Y'all heard it?
What'd you hear?
I heard he got shot.
You don't know who shot?
But you got a problem with so many different people. But they only got their main attention on me. Whatever happened to one of them, I did. I'm sitting right with you. Anything happened, I did. You know what I mean? It never failed. All I've been doing, keeping the track of where I am. So if anything happened, I can always just have my story and proof. So you come out here and check. You supposed to tell you I never did it. You have my phone records, everything. Show you, man. I don't call, text, talk to nobody. None of that, man. I mean, you studying it, man.
But my thing about it is, I'm trying to figure out right now. They done shot up what? Your sister's house?
My sister, my brother, her mama, my other partner, man, about 5, 6 people's house.
So they shot up 5, 6 people's houses looking for you. If they can't get you, they trying to get them.
No, I don't know what's going on, cause truth been told, man, I've been in the streets. I can take pictures where I get. They didn't show up. There's only one time they showed up in one place I took a picture. You did. They showed up when I left. So a guy there told me, like, well, a white truck, whatever, cause a gold title truck pulled up, like 6 some niggas in there. That's real rough. I just like it wasn't that, cause I don't be want everybody to think folk come at me or this and that. But out of all the pictures I took, they showed up one time.
Now, again, this specific interview, I'm more interested in his demeanor, because the jury sees his demeanor. They might also notice his change in demeanor watching the other and this. Derivative use immunity is still only a state immunity. So the only person in Georgia who can sign off is the state attorney general. And to my knowledge, he has not, or she, I don't know who it is. Let's skip forward a bit until after the break. Because at one point in time, the judge asks the prosecution, how much more of this do you have? And she gets a number. In the end of the trial, the judge asks, okay, how much is left now? And it's still over an hour left of something that after lunch was, oh, we have an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, so, and you're going to do January 28th next? All right. When we were reviewing January 28th, there was one part of it that there was a foundation that was going to need to be laid. And I don't know if y'all thought about whether that got laid or not.
Which,
About, it was around, I think, page of the transcript, page 42 through 43, about whether Mr. Copeland had a foundation for knowing about a beef between Bloody J and Mr. Williams, I think is what it was.
Okay.
Anybody?
Folks, I am perfectly capable of demonetizing my own channel. You don't have that luxury. If you get my channel demonetized, it's not acceptable. Now, start your own channel. Do all the crap you want, but don't ruin mine. I am perfectly capable of using all the demonetizing curse words on my own channel. Why is that? Because it's my fucking channel.
That's correct.
Okay,
so we have that out.
okay. Then we want, as long as y'all have it out. All right, great.
But Your Honor, since
Yeah.
Your Honor is talking about January 28th, we were just discussing the other portions of it.
Okay,
Page 82, line 21 through 86, line 14. Mr. Sharp gave me that timestamp as to who killed Nut. I believe that we addressed that earlier today. and the court said that we should go ahead and play it since it's something that we had initially planned not to play, but there were 3 other
Yeah,
portions.
I mean, I didn't say y'all should. I said you might
In
want
fairness.
to if it was going to come in anyway.
You did.
Okay.
And there were 3 other portions, I think, that we had not addressed that the state had initially taken out.
Okay.
Page 87, line 20 to page 94, line 1, as well as, you can check behind me, page 140, line 24 through page 142, line 1, page 183.
Kelly, you are not, I mean, I don't know if you're misremembering things, and it's perfectly okay. I do that too. The question from Woody was, do I have state and federal immunity? The judge was very ambivalent, passed it over to the state, who implied he had. You don't have to believe me. You don't. Go back and watch it yourself.
Line 1 through page 186, line 1. These timestamps, these portions in the transcript were portions that Mr. Shart and I discussed before the last break ended.
Okay.
And he said that with respect to the page 87, page 140 and page 183,
Right.
they dealt respectively with the witness and Tay, and the last 2 dealt with who killed Nutt. And he indicated that that is a portion that the defense would also have played. I believe it's a portion that the state had initially not intended to play. Also, what we told the defense.
At this point in time, Mr. Shard is standing up. And yeah, he's not particularly fond of the information the prosecution is sharing right now.
This is that in the event that the court says it probably would be better if the state played these portions, particularly page 183 line 1 to 186 line 1, the state would also be seeking to play page 178 line 7 through page 182 line 24 as context. And I just wanted to bring that to the court's attention because on the very last break, there seemed to be a little bit of dissension as to what our current position was on all of those.
All right. So the court is not going to tell the state how to try its case. It is up to y'all. But if those are not objectionable, inadmissible, and you know that the defense intends to play them, it remains up to you whether you want to play them or not.
Okay, so based on what we discussed, I think that there will be an objection to the state playing page 178, line 7 through page 182, line 24.
All right.
And that's it.
Okay.
Now, Ms. Long,
You know, it may be that you tell me, and then I'll look at it while we're listening to this next thing.
Here's what's going on.
Okay.
The state doesn't want to play certain portions of this. They know we will play them.
Sure.
The state is conditioning on the last one, 183 line 1 to 186 line 1. The state is specifically trying to condition them playing it with us agreeing that they can play 178 line 7 to 182 line 24 as to provide context.
Okay.
We do not believe it provides any context, and that section was already kept out. Okay?
Okay.
So we don't believe it provides any context. So if we have to litigate it, we can litigate it. If the state wants to not play the portions they don't like, then we will certainly introduce them and talk about it ad nauseum when it's our turn to talk. We're just making this overly complicated because they want to play this extra thing as showing context, and we don't believe it does. And if Your Honor believes it does, then I guess they could play it. But
And Your Honor, to be clear,
Yeah.
from 178 line 7 all the way through 186 line 1 was what was out. So with the defense asking for most of that to come in, we're just asking for the entire section to come in. So I want to be very clear about what is happening right now.
we keep saying it's out. It was out, but
It was out by agreement, right? Or had I mean, I
don't believe so. I think
flip
it's
back and
out.
look.
Your Honor, it was a section that the state, when we first argued this back in June, There was a section that the state wanted out. The previous Judge Glanville stated, if state, you don't have to play it, but if they want to play it, they can.
Okay, didn't we redo every one of the statements?
Right, and this was still one that was a state's redaction that we didn't address because.
So when they're
We
saying
didn't-
it was out, they're not saying that you ruled it out. They're saying that they just took it out. And so
Okay. Okay.
I think it's 6 and 1 half a dozen other.
Well, it's not 6 and 1 half dozen of another. That's two entirely different things. But let's get the jury in and continue with this February 20th statement. And I will try to take a look at what the part that y'all are talking about and my prior. So did I make a prior ruling on this portion at all?
No, Your Honor.
No. Okay. So I will look at it and see what my ruling would be. What is the objection to that part?
Yeah. What they are talking about here is a portion of this video where Woody is being asked by the interviewer, if not you, then who done it? If not you, who done it? And Woody speculates. Now I understand why they don't want this played at all. And if the defense is going to play it, then they want another portion put in that might have very little to do with this case at all, just because they are assholes.
What's the defense objection to 178(1) through 182(24) or whatever it is, 7?
now, I'm not looking at the transcript from our prior
Right.
discussions. I believe that you ruled that part out.
You do think that I ruled it out?
But
All
I'm
right, I'll
not,
have to go
I
back
will
and
not
look.
swear. But I think the reasoning is because, again, I haven't listened to the tape in court, but looking at the transcript, I think it makes reference to Shelltail wanting to kill Jeffrey's sister is what's in the transcript. And I believe Mr. Steele objected to that, but
Okay.
I could be wrong.
All right.
I did object.
Okay.
Your Honor, can I just ask for clarity? What page are we on? My pages got messed up on the current transcript that we were given,
I have no idea.
Are you talking about February 21st or January 20th?
the one that's being played.
Right now, we are on page 50.
Yeah, and at this point in time, I am sitting next to Jeffrey's family. His mom is sitting at the edge in her wheelchair. The sisters are slightly in front of me and beside me. So I'm sitting with Mr. Williams' family at this point in time. And I did have some brief communications, which I will not reveal. But good people, actually, from my brief encounter with them. Good people.
You want
Thank you. Do you know what?
line 12.
Thanks. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's get the jury in, continue with the February 20th. Keep fingers crossed that the sound doesn't go out again.
Every week it's the same thing. Have it by Monday, have it by Friday, and the state doesn't. The family of Mr. Williams is almost, somebody of the family of Mr. Williams is always in court.
That way. But the sound is back, so we're all just going to hope that it
And
stays
here
that way.
the sound almost cut out again.
Unbelievable. It's evident. We're just, I don't know. It's, let's give it a shot.
We probably had that. I didn't do what I did what I did.
And one of the things that is
Because I know for a fact
is Woody,
when I ran around, the car wasn't moving no more. He stopped the car.
one of the things in this portion that I don't know if you can hear it or not is Woody saying in the interview that somebody is threatening to end one of Jeffrey's sisters.
I'm ready to move when I shot that.
And a few minutes after this, the family left the courtroom. Don't know if they just didn't want to hear that part.
The only way crazy, because I shot at them. It's the only way. They were still shooting. Every time I shot, they stopped shooting. Every time I stopped shooting, I try to get back in the house. I wasn't trying to hurt them, just trying to get us away. That's all I was trying to do. If I did hurt, I'm not mad about it.
You was offended.
Some fat.
I think this StreamYard is actively muting me. I did not press that mute button. I'm sure of it. What I was saying was, I don't think being seated and then the family comes in and we are next to each other does not make me slime, because I am a part of Mr. Jingle's Viking thugs. Mr. Jingles, as you all know, is our supreme leader and unindicted co-conspirator. I miss my cat, but he is doing okay back home without me. And so I don't know if I can be both JVT and YSL. I don't know.
Yeah. They seen they had a clear view of me. They seen me walk to the car with the baby.
So they knew you had your baby,
They saw the baby. You seen the baby mom too.
and they didn't care.
You did.
Anything else you want to talk to me about?
How do I survive this? How could I survive this? I can't go nowhere if I don't have any money. I'm tell you what, I'm broke now. Because they don't call my phone when I was in front of the door. Like she wanted me to talk. She wanted me to come out and talk. You did?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody right there. Yeah. Everybody did. I love when I ain't talk to her. No. See, like, everybody getting me like I'm a snitch now.
I looked down and I saw the mute button was clicked again. I don't know why. I might be, if somebody is hacking me, they're doing a very interesting, I'm not getting hacked. I think it's StreamYard that's just decides. Muted. Mr. Jingles is my co-conspirator. He's not connected to the YSL, to my knowledge.
It's just like, I can get money. You know, I was just getting money just.
And that's not Williams is in the background and doing
Hey
this.
man, I need to buy this right here. Just hanging around. Go to the mall, you pay for everything. Burger man, they all them. Yeah. Now, I'm getting out here. They think I'm a snitch.
Why'd you come?
Why'd I come? Cause my name came up in something I didn't do. And the only way to come out and prove myself, same day it happened. You said, think I shot these people, I shot their houses up, run Texas on them. If I'm gonna do something, I'm not gonna be scared to shot dead.
And Your Honor.
One thing is, which is about being there in person, the court staff are hilarious. Mr. Soho, the big security, amazing guy, absolutely amazing guy. We had in one of the breaks, we a bit back and forth, joking about me with the cane, don't cause any trouble. And I said, I can't cause any trouble. I can't even run. And he said, well, I can't run either. And I said, well, that would be the slowest chase in history. I mean, amazing guy. And yeah. Welcome to Atlanta. If you didn't hear it, that was, I believe, the fire brigade. Yeah. Young is great. She is doing wonders with my Discord. Now, I had a few words with Woody as well. Nothing about the trial, just pleasantries. And he is charming. He is very easy to talk to. Very, very easy to talk to. But then again, for you who don't know, who haven't watched this entire stream, hi, I'm Nick. I have done labor law for over 30 years. Among the people I may or may not have represented in labor disputes are bikers. And once you learn, and not bicycle bikers, but those with the vests and stuff. It's the ambulance. Okay. Somebody call it for the state's case. Oh, okay. Now, from my experience with the few cases I had with representing in labor disputes, vest-wearing people, is that there is a difference between people who play and people who are the real deal. And I do believe that Mr. Copeland is the real deal. I don't know why he's talking to the cops that much, but if he does it just to divert them somewhere else, I mean, he's been in prison quite a few times, but I would assume he would have been in prison a lot more if he didn't have that ability. Or it was a fire truck. I don't know. But that's just a bit of information I thought I would share with you guys.
I'm gonna resume plan 22347.
Every second of the day, every 5 minutes we get, she put me out there, so I leave. I think about what's going on. And I do whatever I do to talk and get that good with her. To be that with her in bed until the time comes. Because for what I've been witnessing and been seeing lately, I've been saying God help me with me. But I don't know, I got my mind like it because it ain't gonna stop. No matter what happens. It's not gonna be me. It's gonna be somebody I love. If my love get hurt, I really step in front of the gun. And tonight what happened, I honestly, God, tell the truth, man. I didn't want no problem with nobody. It was hard to get me to stay in the house. I stay in the house.
Oh hell yeah. If I have to choose between bikers and cyclists, bikers, hands down. Yeah, this is something I have been planning for a while to do a video on, the Great Nordic Biker Wars in the 90s. And there were rocket launchers involved. Rocket launchers in the Great Nordic Biker Wars. When I get the time, I will do a video on that subject. When I get the time. I also plan to do a video on this is plans I have. I don't know when I can make it a reality. About the Norway black metal murders, and also a story about the Swedish most notorious serial killer of all times that never was. But that's for the future. That's for the future. I don't know when I get the time to do those, but my plan is to do them. It's like when I go on a diet. I'm planning to.
A whole day. Until we get I can run around. Get on Instagram, make funny jokes, just clear my mind. I same thing. I have a handful of problems. Not coming in the house. Get ugly up. Sleep in the living room, sleep on the floor, or whatever. Like, I be there, see my baby. I go to sleep, wake up to.
That's that.
At the end of the day, man.
So you
Stopping at 2:25:24.
Yeah, and as I said, the most interesting part here for me was the absolute change in demeanor with Woody. He was paying attention, he smiled at times. I mean, from the first video, it was as watching a completely different person. I'm not from Cleveland, I'm Swedish. Oh, it's past midnight here and I'm supposed to be up in 6 hours. All right, let's skip ahead a bit to this. And why do I stop here? Well, it is sidebar counter 221. And why is this sidebar? I believe this is the moment where the prosecution played too much and blamed the defense. Of course, they blamed the defense for not discovering the prosecution failed to redact it. They tried to make it out as the defense fault. See here. And this might also be the time when she yells out, "What are you doing? Going? I did not call for a recess." Or if that was earlier, I don't remember.
I did not excuse anybody. Where did two defendants go? And why?
Yeah, judge didn't call for recess. It was a sidebar. And apparently, two defendants chose to go to the bathroom. She was not happy.
We have had restroom break after restroom break after restroom break. They're going to have to hold it like the rest of us. I did not take a recess.
I will show you my cowboy hat. Hold on while I go get it.
I mean, I realize it might be a little confusing because we're up here seemingly with no idea what we're doing. So, you know,
I can't show it because I pre-packed for tomorrow. So it's in the car in the garage. Let's see if I can find the picture of it. Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. I got myself this in Houston at Miller Hats. When in Texas. I have no idea how I'm supposed to get that home with me because my suitcase is at the maximum. So before I leave, I almost need to throw things out. But somehow I'm getting that hat back home. At Miller's Hats. Yeah, Miller Hats. And this is a proper Miller Hats. It has the label on the inside. Is it a Ranger hat? Okay. Apparently it fits my giant head. So I'm good with that. All right, let's get through this.
might look like we're on recess, but
Did you see the closed captions? Yes, they steam shaped it and everything for me. Did you see the closed captions?
like we're on recess, but
I love the closed captions. Doing so, you know, it might look like we're on a racist, but I love closed captions. Yeah, but where do I put the box for it? Okay, let's watch. I will probably use that as hand luggage and cram my pockets full with the stuff. Yeah. You guys have gifted memberships like crazy, and I got a huge super chat, and I got via PayPal. Today, I don't care about getting no ad revenue on this.
it's not y'all's fault. All right, I think we've got everybody back. Okay. Go ahead.
So part of the confusion is that in the state's redaction, they redacted everything the same color, meaning the things that Your Honor kept out, and then they did their own redactions that Your Honor didn't keep out, and it's all the same color, which has made the review.
Yeah. First of all, thank you, Yar, for gifting memberships to Burberries. Okay. Pinko, Felicia, Burberries, Gigi, Michelle, Hammond 420. I'm her. Kelly Cochran. Precosint, Victor Man 777. How do you get a membership? Press that on the top of the chat. There should be what looks like a gift box right now. If you press that, you should get the option of allow gifted memberships. Unless you are on iOS, then you have to go out of the app and into the web browser to do that. I think. But thank you so much, Jori. That is so sweet. Now, where were we? Yeah, this one. The prosecution played too long. It played into parts that the judge had ruled, you are not playing that. And they blamed the defense for not seeing in the transcript that it was still there. And as Mr. Shard explains, their redactions and others is marked with the same color. And that is just another one of these sneaky tactics from the prosecution.
A little bit difficult. So I've had to make sure everything is redacted as ordered, but also check behind the redactions to make sure they were ordered. So that's all I'm asking, is that these portions be played. And I understand the state, ultimately, Your Honor, I think has discretion to control the way that the courtroom operates, and certainly the state has some say in how they present their case. But based on the amount of time we're playing these statements, it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to have to play little segments to make it complete.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody understands that. That's not an evidentiary ruling. That is, the state is either going to make a call if there is something that y'all intend to play that is not evidentially objectionable. They can decide it makes more sense to just play it all at once. So I think the only thing we have an issue with, it's not those first three groupings, right? It's the y'all would like to play and y'all intend to play if they don't. 183 line 1 through 186 line 7, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so they can either play that or not play that. But their argument is if they do play that, they also believe that 178 line 7 through 182 line 24 also needs to come in essentially like for completeness. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. And if there are portions, my understanding at the bench is that the main issue is page 178, line 22 through 24. If that is the sole issue, then we will redact that. If there's other issues, then we will want to know that.
I think there's other issues.
Well, this is my concern. That was out. So I can't sit here right now without playing it. And it's probably only 90
Then
seconds
let's
long.
play it.
Right, because I think Mr. Steele might actually have an objection to it, and I don't want to speak for him.
Let's play it.
You want me to play the whole 178?
Yeah, just
The whole thing.
that'll be fine.
And we're starting at 8:08:05.
I think that's really nice. Who is? The one who came to the.
For the record, this is one of the funniest things I have ever seen. For you who don't know, broad striped clothes is transition clothes between for people who recently got convicted. They get to jail or prison in civilian clothes, of course. In the transition from them being free people to active prisoners, they change into this to get this broad stripe. Often it's just black and white until they get into actual assignment in jail, in prison and stuff like that. Then they get actual prison suits. But seeing to police cops, investigators in prison gear is so funny. It is so funny. Yes, W Mug, it's frickin' Frank in prison stripes. Oh.
What happened? He went in there, he looked where she laid in. And she said that was the most body shot up. And then, yeah, Kara told me I'm going to call her sister.
I'm not going
Like,
to open fire off.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to kill her. You know, just try to get out where she was. She can come out and then it's like Rich on the corner still had show. And I was there. And Rich on the corner came, but Rich on the corner tried to play both sides. So
He like a guy.
Yeah,
so he just like, bro, man, I'm telling you how serious it is, bro. Kid try to kill anybody, bro. He told me to call back and tell her, trick her die there, so he can kill her. Just get back into it. Yeah, he said like he want to kill somebody that way gonna hurt. What the hell? That was what he saying. Rich on the corner, you going right at hell. Lucha ain't gonna pay his bond. They said he mad at Lucha because Lucha ain't pay his bond.
Why? Why Lucha ain't pay his bond?
Folks, I need this meme. On the moped with investigator Gaither and that other moron. We need that meme. Anybody who is good at that, we need that meme. DM me that meme on X and I will show it.
But what don't make sense, let's say, okay, where did we get, right?
I'm sorry.
Said that Kel was called over there to the house after he got shot up. Right. So did you mama? Yeah. We heard what we heard. Lucha got mama house got shot up. Kel pulled up with the guns. They would come to the tree. Kel pulled up with the guns in the car. And police walked up, searched the car, found the guns, locked them up. But why? Like
Why was he there? Who brought him there?
I don't know.
Huh? Lucha Mama house. Kel, come. Who brought him to Lucha Mama house? Like, he got shot up.
Like we just hang out in the driveway? I don't know.
You know.
So if that's the case, and then he got locked up, why did Lucha want to pay his bond? You know what I'm saying? And I basically
Called you and said, yo, my house got out my town.
check on.
And then the red Camaro Lucha, the same car they ran around, they shot my girl mama house up. They Lucha car. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't get it. You know what I'm saying? They got my name on so much stuff. Like people, they come and tell us, little bit, then they start talking about it's me. You know what I'm saying? Like my girl, she get a lot of information from her friends. She got a lot of friends, so they get around me. Lucha and them was talking in the studio, and it was a girl in there, mentioned one of them, and she my girlfriend. And she said that ain't nobody do that. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? They was all like Kill and K Ross, man. You know what I'm saying?
Kill who?
K.
Who's that?
I sent you pictures there to them. I think I sent to those each other. They had shot in the picture.
Oh, yeah. And the gym was in the car.
Yeah, them two. Ross, man. And they supposed to came back. They talk about the studio. You know what I'm saying? They just put my name on it. They cut me up.
Makes it seem like they ain't got beef for the streets, whatever.
Yeah. So, and then they like, she was like, they know what they do it. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna keep playing on him. And she was like, K, when the nigga got killed, K first one called everybody like, we killed it. Tell them on there what it is. He first one started my name. And they like, Kill went along with it. So they had J. Ross, man. Then they did, like, nothing died, then they started. That same day? I don't know when. They like, they J. Ross, man. And they supposed to come back for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kill Ross flat, plug, flat. He was one of them. Mm-hmm. Like,
Stop at 11:50, Your Honor.
Spoken to my colleagues, and I believe I'm authorized to say that we're fine with all that coming.
Yeah, after a review of everything that has been going on, the defense said, let's just play it. And I completely agree, because as many times as humanly possible, they should show cops in prison stripes.
Okay,
I just didn't want to speak for everyone.
understood. So you are also all right with all of that coming in?
I am.
Okay. Then I think we're ready to have the jury out and play the next statement. Let's get Mr. Copeland. Make sure I'm muted.
28614.
I don't have the time.
I'll get it for you.
Okay.
8614.
Make sure I'm muted. And, oh, let me just show you to you this way. Remember last week when Miss Love was caught, or maybe 2 weeks ago, when Miss Love was caught using AI legal help? Well, now she got herself the privacy screen. Yeah, you see that down in the corner? She finally got, after 9 months, she got privacy screen on her laptop. And that is why her laptop is always overheating, because that program does crazy crap with the GPU. Let's listen to that again.
Make sure I'm muted.
28614.
I don't have the time.
I'll get it.
Oh, that was the judge saying that. But I mean, these people can't, for the love of life, shut up.
I'm literally playing.
Mr. Shark, can we get your timestamps on the ones that we had?
The speaker one, right?
Oh, pretty well.
The speaker one. It's already on 0. So then, yes, join the computer audio.
Oh, and by the way, found the clip where the juror said the thing. Remember, folks, the jurors was told by Judge Glanville that if needed, they would get days off. They just have to say well in advance. Judge Whitaker, not going to happen. This trial is moving forward. Now, they're just going to play Kling and Clang in Prison Stripes for a good while. They will have a break. And
Word on here. Man, that nigga, man. We not cool. We just ain't, he ain't with Boo. You know what I'm saying? And Boo make it fun. Like, we go around Boo, they gambling. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't mind us hanging around. Right. So, like, he's the only person that ain't mad us being around him. Until he said his sleep, he left out. I ain't want to go around him. So, like, he's sleep training him because he said 20,000. So.
yeah. And by the way, remember what we just watched? The investigators leaning over, pushing him. Now he's just leaning back. She's slumped over like a bag of oats. And Rudy is controlling this interview. It's just a matter of time. Imagine if he had just a little bit better upbringing. That man would have been an amazing negotiator. But sometimes the circumstances makes the man.
Well, who you hanging with?
And
It's calculated. No,
No.
we,
here comes the
2137.
when the judge
and are we
discovers
getting
that, because sometime after lunch, Miss Hilton said, from a direct question, how long of this do you are left to play? And she said an hour 45. This is roughly 2.5 hours later.
close to the end of this one?
No, I may have miscalculated my time. So
Okay, so no,
No.
we've got
Probably about approximately an hour.
Left?
The judge was told 2.5 hours ago they had an hour and 45 minutes left to play. And now, after 2.5 hours of playing these damn videos, there's still an hour left. That's not a miscalculation. That's not being able to tell time. I know the joke, lawyers don't do math, but we do know the clock. Miss Hilton clearly does not know time. Let's go back because this is
About approximately an hour.
Left? You definitely miscalculated. Okay, all right, let's stop for the day then. All right,
Can I go?
yes, be back here at 9 in the morning.
I'm getting on sleep, Jay. Can I call like at 10, 11?
Sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to.
on the way out. I heard Woody say something. I don't know if it was picked up by any microphones. Let's see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give y'all an idea about scheduling moving forward. What I am planning.
It wasn't picked up. He said something on the way up that had a few curse words. Me and Sylvia looked at each other like, what? He was not happy at all.
Planning to do is, for the most part, be here from 9 a.m. to 5 to 5:30. Obviously, it kind of depends on what a witness is.
And now she tells the jury the bad news. As I said, the jury has been told if they need days off, half days because of appointments, just say so, because Judge Glanville and giving out 3 days, very liberal. Judge Whitaker, not so much.
And if we're about to wrap up, but I am not going to be able to accommodate regular leaving early. I mean, if there is some.
If anybody have that on camera, that time slot, anything, please DM me on X/Twitter. So, because I didn't know. I simply didn't know. I do know that the Zoom feed might have some coverage over the exit or entrance.
Specific one day XYZ is going on, please raise it. But I can't just be like, oh, we're going to quit at 2 every Tuesday or something like that. I mean, I can't do that. We've got too much to get through here. So I know y'all already had been given.
Oh. Let's look at me walking out of court. I missed this completely.
Okay.
There I am. Yeah, that's little old me walking out of court.
Go ahead and test it just in case. Thanks.
Hey, that was me. Thank you, Pinko, for your $5 super chat. Says, I really appreciate Nick and Kat and everyone watching this alone. Makes me want to scratch my ass out and then dissociate for a few hours. Oh, don't do that. Do that like the rest of us do. Alcoholics. No, don't do that. Do not do that. Hey. I need to save that over on something. Yeah. I'm quite large. I'm depending on if I've been at the chiropractor in a while or recently, I'm between 6'3" and 6'4", closer to 6'4". If I've recently been at a chiropractor, and I'm between 260 and 280, depending on which end of a buffet you find me. All right, that was fun. Let's go back to the end of this. And before anything, everybody say thank you to the mods in the chat. They do amazing work. Thank you so much.
All right, y'all can be seated. I think we just let up there. It went out and it's back. Okay, anything we need to think about before or put on the record before we see each other at 8:45 in the morning?
Your Honor, we just want to make sure that the June redactions are okay, because we plan on going from February 21st to the June redaction. So we want to make sure we don't have any issues with it.
I don't know. Have y'all had a chance to look at those? Okay, y'all endeavor to look at those tonight and let Ms. Hilton know as soon as you can if there are any issues and think through what all we might be doing.
I came in from Houston and New Orleans. It's not as hot in Atlanta as it is over there. It's almost 1 a.m. now. I need to wrap this up, folks.
Doing tomorrow and the next day, and think about issues that might arise with whatever that is that we're doing tomorrow and the next day. And I'm just going to run through what I've got on my list for us to tackle next week while the jury is out. And remember, Monday will start at noon. Tuesday will start at noon. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday should be regular, all day days.
Okay, that was the important parts. So tomorrow will be a travel day for me. I will do a recap in the evening. Friday, it's Friday panel show. I will invite the usual suspects. Don't know who will be on, but they will be invited. Next week, most of that week I will be in Michigan. So I will have access to all the things. So I should be able to stream most of these things. So, okay, that is my recap of, I don't have any nap time penciled in for tomorrow, so I need to get my sleep tonight. So, but that is today's recap. Besides the misinformation about Woody, I think I did good. And if you have any questions, save it until tomorrow evening, or try to contact me on the Twitter, or come back here tomorrow evening and just post it and I will try to get to it. Folks, again, thank you for allowing me to do this. It's an honor and I'm having the time of my life doing this. And it's all thanks to you guys who tune in day after day and all the new people who show up every day now. So thank you. Thank you. And what do you say? Folks, hug your family. Unless your family is crap, then screw them and give your love to the people who deserve it. Okay? I'm going to send you over to MG Law. He is often in my chat, and you should check him out and subscribe to him, in my opinion. So I'm going to send you over to him. He is a criminal defense lawyer, an actual US-based criminal defense lawyer. So I'm going to send you over there. Again, thank you so much for allowing me to do that. Thank you for the super chats, the gifted memberships, the PayPals. You are great folks. With a few exceptions that I had to yeet out of here, but you can't win them all. Okay. I will see you all back here tomorrow. Okay. See ya. Bye-bye.
I came from Sweden, tried so